Yeah, good evening, Nigerians, and welcome to this live session we're having today. It's another wonderful evening, and we are here fresh tonight to update you on the happenings in Nigeria, the new strategy, the enemies of Nigeria deploying, and how we are ready to counter them. P2B is back on campaign trail. We're going to feature him today and show you that the support is even stronger than you can imagine. And it's obvious that Nigerians are not ready to let INEC, the police, and the government do what they have been doing. When I say the government, I mean from Aso Rock down the line. Because the police commissioners are answerable to the Inspector General of Police, and the Inspector General of Police answerable to the President. Whatsoever any policeman does in any state and there is no action to it is because it is an order from above. All the election that is coming this weekend is like a test run. It's APC, INEC, and the law enforcement agencies test run to see whether their new strategy will work. But obviously, they are caught in it, and Nigerians are not letting go. They've busted them. And that's why we've told you in our title about the new scandal they have been caught with. We're going to be discussing that this night and then show you what is happening on the new Nigeria recovery that P2B launched day before yesterday. It's shooting up. It's like a shooting star. We have hit the ground really running, whilst they themselves hit the ground ruining Nigeria. We have hit the ground running to rescue the remnant of Nigeria from their hand. And so this night, I want us to relax. Let me just give us a little summary of what is happening in the polity. INEC is planning to do even the most damaging things after the Supreme Court judgment that rendered our IRF and our beavers an ordinary PR equipment. The moment the Supreme Court removed the legal backing, the authority of IRF and beavers as part of what would lead to a credible chain of custody of our votes, it was like a win for INEC and a win for APC and a win for Aso Rock, if you understand what I mean. And the new things they have conjured is what they are trying to test this weekend in Bayelsa State, in Imo State, and in Kogi State off-cycle governorship election. Can you believe that the zonal rec, I don't know, more like the person who is in charge of the resident electoral commissioners in the whole of Southeastern Zone was in Owerri to hold a stakeholders meeting on behalf of the INEC chairman. Stakeholders means you, Nigerian. Stakeholders means the political parties. Stakeholders means even the police. All the people concerned. Anybody that is interested in Nigeria are stakeholders. Lo and behold, the person, the media, which is supposed to be a critical part of this whole system, the media, they were asked to leave. They were asked to switch off their camera. Where do you do such a thing? Are we in a secret cult? Are we in a secret cult? But thanks goodness, it is either the meeting holds with camera or the meeting will not hold at all. And then all the lies and all the manipulations they did, oh, I like the direction this campaign is going now. All the atrocities they committed during the election of the February and March this year, the political parties are now bringing it to show INEC and say, this is what you people did during the presidential election, the House of Assembly election, the senatorial election, the House of Rep election. If you try it again this time around, something will give. So this Saturday, which is just about 3 days from now, will determine the new direction Nigeria will go. And I would like us, after Ifeoma's opening remarks, I would like us to start immediately by seeing some of the things that is happening, the kind of mess INEC is still willing under Mahmoud to go through. Till now, Mahmoud has not come boldly to tell us that this is the direction the election is going. Instead, he's sending representatives. So they are doubling down in their method of grab it, hold it, run with it. But I don't know if Nigerians are ready for such to continue to perpetuate itself. So I hand over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to say that the Supreme Court's ruling has left Nigerians confused because as it stands now, we don't even know the importance of IREF. We don't know if IREF is going to be relevant. And this was a technology that was introduced in order to reduce the level of corruption that we do have in terms of manipulating figures, result sheets and all that during election. That was the key reason why these IREF and BVAS and all that were introduced. But from the Supreme Court's ruling, nobody is talking about that. And you can see the election is just few days to hold. INEC has not come out to spell out their guidelines. We don't even know if they are going to be using papers, and even if they are going to be using, would they be uploading to the IREF like they told us during the presidential election? They've not come out clear to talk to the Nigerian people, I mean, especially those in Imo State, on how to vote and how to monitor their vote, to take care of their vote. The same thing is happening in Kogi State and also in Bayelsa. So you find out that people are left confused. And some of these people who are out to rig election, get into office at all costs, they are taking advantage of this. With them having the security agents on their side, they have the INEC officials, like that of the Imo State. Dr. Tay just made reference to that they've been called for the removal of the REC, but nobody's listening to those opposition parties who feel threatened. They've been calling on INEC to remove this person because they believe the person works, in close relationship with the governor of Imo State. But nobody is listening to them. And we know the kind of person Purpose of the man is. He's out. And once he's out, he's ready to do anything to find himself back, in that state house. But I'm just hoping that they take advantage. They should come out en masse and vote, because we must tell these people that enough is enough. Like Mr. Peter Obi has said, he wants the obedient family, he wants the obedient movement to stand as a very strong opposition to this current government, whether be it in the state level or in the federal level. And that's just what we have to do. So no matter their threats, if you go to Kogi State, you need to see what is doing. That of Kogi State, there's a lot of killings, assassination. Let me not even be using these terms here. As a lot of things are going on there. And to my own surprise, the president is not saying anything. I watched one of the governorship candidates calling the president to intervene, to speak, and at least to address the nation and also talk to the people of Kogi State, call the governor to order. But nobody is even listening to them. Things are just going rough. I don't know what this government is up to, honestly. I don't know. So, Doc,
Can I say something? Yes.
Yeah.
Before you do this thing, they're asking for the removal of REC in Imo State. Do you know on whose desk a REC can be removed? It's on the president's desk. So if the REC remains there, it means the president says, I don't care. She must be there. Because it's only the president who appointed the REC and the chairman and the commissioners, like the commissioner in charge of education, the one Festus Okoye was. So only the president that has the power to remove him or her, remove the person as the case may be. And so Look at Imo State in perspective. The Supreme Court is still mute over their judgments that they adjourned for almost 4 years. When we say that our Supreme Court stinks even more than the politicians, people don't understand. These are the people who are abusing. And when we say Supreme Court stinks, it's the Chief Justice, because it is on him to determine that a case will be heard or a case will not be heard. It is on him. In fact, oh my goodness, that branch of our government is dirtier than any other branch. Because the legislature is like soldier comes, the executive is like soldier come, soldier go. The legislature is even better. You can be there for 2, 3, 4 terms as long as people keep voting you in. The executive is maximum 8 years. Like it or hate it, it's over for you. But the judiciary, they can be there for 30 years, growing fatter in their corruption. How can you, a political party, came to you and said, this is your judgment? Why don't you give the directive so that your judgment will be enforced? Because when you give judgment, like when you say someone, when you find someone guilty, sometimes they say, go, come back tomorrow for the sentencing. This person has been found guilty of murder. The sentencing will be another day where the judge will say, I give you 25 years with hard labor, or I give you life, or I give you this. The party came and said, you have given judgments. Why don't you give now the corresponding order for the certificate of return to be withdrawn? You adjourned it for 4 years, and a new election is to be held there. And the chief judge is watching it, doing nothing. Do these old men really care for Nigerians? Just think about it. And now, a resident electoral commissioner, when Buhari was appointing that woman, was it in 2021 or 2022? All the civil society wrote and said, this person is a card-carrying member of APC. But because Hope Uzodinma is their person, they sent her there, and she conducted the election of the presidency and the election of the House of Assembly and the Senate. Now she's still there causing problem. And the people whom these people will come to govern and saying, we don't like this referee. Remove this referee. And the man on whose desk is to remove. More like, forget these people. What does that tell you? They are planning bigger. I read in the news today that INEC chairman says any polling booth where there is crisis, that the vote will not count. What do you think will happen? Was it not police that they used to do the crisis of Rivers State and the crisis of Lagos State and the crisis of Imo State in the March and April election? Was it not police? So what it means now is that they will go to the stronghold of Labour or go to the stronghold of PDP and cause riots there, and the vote will be annulled. And remember that they have booked all the hotels in Imo State. You remember we did it here. I saw another video of people who flew all the way from Atlanta in USA and from all over the world, went to Imo State. The old girls of Federal Government Girls College, Owerri, they are having their 50 years renewal. What do you call it? Reunion. They had booked the hotel almost a year ago, only for them to arrive in Marriott, Owerri. And they told them that the government has booked the whole place. It happened. They arrived. Reservation they had made for 6 months, 5 months ago. That is where they will write the results. When they cause riots in the other place. And now There is no way to fight because the so-called IREV that would have catch them where they're doing it, the Supreme Court has also rendered it impotent. But the PDP and the Labour Party and other opposition parties, they knew these tactics and they are ready to stand face to face to iron it out with them. Sorry to delay, but please go on in your video, on the content you have for us to analyze.
Okay, Doc, let me put up the video where this INEC representative was telling the media people to excuse them. That was in Imo State, just for you to see what these people are doing.
Will plead with the media. I know you are participants, you are part of this meeting, but I think at this point, if you please excuse us with the camera, just sit down and participate. Let's go to the business of the day.
There's nothing secret about what we're doing. There's absolutely nothing secret about what we're doing. Don't do that.
The media, please.
No.
You are.
No. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the media to cover everything we're doing here. With what we are doing. Why would you want the media to cover what we are doing? We are not running the media. This is about elections. Why do you want the media to cover? What are you writing? That is a sign that there is something wrong. Why are you watching out the media?
Why are you looking at the media? In a free society?
In a free society, in an election.
Why are you looking at the media?
In an election.
We are here to take orders and you
In an election.
and the media don't take orders.
You cannot do
And the media don't take orders. And the media don't take orders.
and working the neighbors are here so that they know what
And the media don't take orders.
enough is enough. Enough is enough.
And the media don't take orders.
Let's see what will happen here. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
And the media don't take orders.
Enough is enough. I am happy the neighbors are here to see what happens. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Yeah,
Can you
so
imagine?
we've
Let me ask
seen
a
it.
question.
One keeps wondering if we have a president in this country. These things are happening. Nobody's being called to book. Honestly, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. These leaders, they just want to impose themselves on Nigerians. Look at Yaya Bello in Kogi State. This man has served 2 terms. Now he wants to leave, but he wants to force his own person on
His
the people
cousin.
of Kogi
I'm told
State.
it's his cousin. I'm told it's his cousin. I'm told
Can
it's his
imagine.
cousin. Okay. You remember what we said in our program? The new model of the Francophone African model of democracy being influenced by France is what they're gradually trying to import into Nigeria. Dynastical kind of government. The man will finish hand over to the son or to the mistress or to the brother or to the cousin, as the case may be. Now, but let me ask a question. Nigerians, please let me ask us a question. What is that secret state matter about election that all political parties are around and the camera cannot be there? What is it that man, that INEC man is going to say that is out of what is published in the Constitution, Electoral Act, Electoral Guideline, and Manual for the election? What is that secret thing that if a camera captures it, the state secret of Nigeria will be leaked to hostile countries that will come and overthrow our government. Tell me that thing. If not simply because INEC don't want to be reminded that this is what they said on camera, just like we have the video clips of the INEC chairman, Festus Okoye, their interviews and everything. Because they may say what is in the book, but they have in their chest another thing to do, and they don't want to be caught again. And because the courts, our law court said, those people that were subpoenaed to come, this and that. Now everybody is planning from the scratch. A video camera that is there by AIT or by channels or by Arise. As soon as the election is finishing, they're already writing them, telling them, get ready, you're coming to testify. All those things they said they did not do well during the presidential elections petitions court. Political parties are ready to do it well so that the court will not have any excuse. That is why they don't even want the data at all to be captured. Can't you see we are dealing with, let me not use that word because it's not fair to say we're dealing with callous animals. Let me not use it. It's not from my mouth. We're dealing with people who don't care. But let's listen to the deputy governor of governorship candidate of PDP actually tell us more about INEC's plan, what they have done before that they are probably planning to replicate again. Is it possible for us to listen to him? I wanted people to hear it from the horse's mouth. So, according to, okay, let's see how it goes.
We'll plead with the media. I know you are participants, you are part of this meeting, but I think at this point,
where the deputy governor of deputy governorship candidate of PDP, One Jones Onyerere, was talking about how that in the State House of Assembly election this year, that INEC actually had two different kind of result sheet with the same serial number. INEC had two different kinds of. No, it's not this. It's not this video that it's not this video.
Okay, but no, I don't have that page. I don't have that page.
Pardon? You have it. I thought you had it. The one where just the first 3 minutes of that YouTube.
Ruling All Progressives Congress Party over its position on the declared outcome of the 2023 presidential election. Lawal maintains that Peter will be of the Labour Party rather than APC's Bola Tinubu.
I think these are the two videos that I added. No.
Okay, let me tell the story. I thought maybe you didn't capture it. That was a situation where the deputy governorship candidate of the People Democratic Party was talking how that during the House of Assembly election that INEC came with two kinds of results. They came with two kinds of results. The other one was the one they gave them where the results were recorded, and the other one was a different one that they filed somewhere they don't know and uploaded. They uploaded it because of what? Because INEC did not upload on the day of the election. They had the excuse to go and generate a different result and upload it for the people. So what was on the IREV is actually not what they gave to other political parties. And It was happened under the watch of this same man who was here today. It happened under the watch of this same man who is here today. And so, Nigerians, can we imagine the extent to which INEC can perjure themselves just to no wonder somebody said that INEC is now one of the department of APC. INEC is currently one of the department of APC. It's one of the arms of APC. Maybe their political, maybe their election conversion arm of APC. That's what INEC is. Because they're not even trying at all to be neutral. They are doing everything, anything at all they could do just to make sure that APC succeeds. That's what INEC is doing. And as we said earlier in this week, or late last week, yes, earlier this week, as we said earlier this week, or on Saturday, yes, APC don't care. They want to grab it, hold it, snatch it, and run with it anyhow. I wish we still have that video where the then presidential candidate said it. For us to listen to what he said, he says, anyhow you get it, snatch it, hold it firm, and run with it. That ideology is what APC is running with. And INEC is saying to them, how may I help? How may I help? It is very, 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 very dangerous where this current INEC and their marriage with APC is taking Nigeria to. But I wish we had listened to that video for us to know that the political parties are not going to take it light. Because at the end of it all, at the verge of contending this thing with INEC, the interface we have with INEC is via political parties that are representing the interests of the masses. But that is the cruelty of the INEC of today. Under the same Mahmoud, there is no iota of remorse, no repentance. Everything he did, it did not even bother him. He's conjuring and thinking how he will do even more, not even how to correct the mess he brought to Nigeria early this year. It's unfortunate, but as a result of that, people who were in that meeting had to walk out on the wreck today, and that was it. So,
so why I'm trying to add that video, but I wanted to bring up this image. This is in the US. You can see somebody being alleged. He's facing criminal charges. You know, this is not even verified. It's still allegedly what he did. So that he's trying to buy votes with $10. So you can see a society where rule of law is being upheld. Well, if this was to be in Nigeria, we've seen people, look at what happened in Rivers State before the presidential election. One of the PDP men was seen carrying money, dollars. He was arrested, but at the end of the day, Falana made reference to him this other day. He was saying, where is that man today? That these key politicians will still go and meet the police and release him. So this man is not facing any criminal charges. He's not being prosecuted for that. Because we live in a society like Nigeria. So you can see what is happening in the US. It's just $10. So if this was to be in Nigeria, people will ask you, what does that mean? Is that one money? Wike was speaking. He said there is allegation that he's asking for 2 million naira, 2 billion.
2 billion.
He said he was like, I've served for 8 years as a governor, and now I'm the FCT minister. Meaning that if it's money, that he has it enough. That was the interpretation of what he was trying to say. So honestly, politics in Nigeria is something else. They don't care about the people. They don't care about the masses. people are suffering. They are just after their own. And that's why, like, I keep making reference to him. This is somebody that they keep calling him a youth, as in, he's like, each time you talk about youth coming into government or coming into governance, Yaya Bello's photo is always put at the forefront. But you can see the kind of image he has as a governor. He does not have any good image. So many things are happening in the state currently, and all fingers are pointing at him. So we've got a society where our politicians, no matter what you say, they are not ready to change, honestly.
Of course. Of course. Of course. It's a very challenging thing. You're talking about Yaya Bello being a youth. What of the president's son? With all his youth, what he could contribute to Nigeria is to be using presidential jets to go for a game. That's it. These are the youths that will, I think it's a pity. It's a pity. Yakubu Gowon, who governed Nigeria, who ruled Nigeria for almost 9 years or thereabout, was, I think, around 29 when he became the head of state. And the people we have today, they're just interested. The party, you use presidential jets, you pop champagne, you go for games, and that is it. And in this modern era, we are still relying on people who do not even know how to type their number on their phone to preside over us. And judges who should know better are endorsing them and saying, go ahead, that's no problem. Well, it's a pity. Again, I am happy at the momentum that P2B has. He's gone back to campaign trail. Can we see him on the trail of campaign when he went to campaign for Labour Party in this off-cycle election? Do we still have it?
Yes, it will be an Alex Oti of Abia State. Both of them were in Imo State to show support the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in that state. Don't forget that Alex's wife is equally from Imo State, so I think the partnership is very important.
How? They'll block me from there.
Yeah, Doc, over to you.
Yeah, so all I wanted to say is, I think, was it Daniel Bwala that was talking, and he said that this present government will have more work to do containing the new reinvigorated obedient movement than even tackling the problem of the economy. And I agree. Because the normal thing is to say, oh, we've crushed them, nobody will come out for them again. But with this momentum, 3.5 years to another, 3 years to another election, 3 years to another election. With this momentum, about 3 years to another election, they're already in panic. They're already troubled. And as I said, God helping him, age is on his side, health is on his side, the values are on his side. In fact, someone told me today that currently P2B is now the conscience of Nigeria. That is a frame of measuring what is responsibility, value, and hope for Nigeria. And I believe that it's going to be so. So, Nigerians, if we couldn't get that video clip, let's go. I think we've done justice for today.
I think we'll have to listen to the Labour Party spokesman, what's his name again? He has got some vital information to say about the current.
A former secretary to the government of the Federation, David Babache Lawal, has been having a running battle with the ruling All Progressives Congress Party over his position on the declared outcome of the 2023 presidential election. Lawal maintains that Peter Obi of the Labour Party, rather than APC's Bola Tinubu, was the rightful winner of the contest by a wide margin. With earlier expressed views, especially on the issue of same-faith presidential ticket adopted by APC, has progressively done little to endear him to his former political colleagues. And with the political economy still reeling from the aftermath of the profound changes arising from the elections, the former SGF joins us now to share his views on the current state of the nation. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday. Well, the elections are over, and of course the victory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. So now I'd like us to discuss governance. How would you assess his performance, especially the reforms that he has undertaken since he became president on May the 29th?
Has he undertaken any reform? I'm not aware if he has. All he has been doing is appointing his cronies into juicy political positions. What reform?
Well, I could remind you of, the two that readily comes to mind: removing fuel subsidy and, of course, floating the naira. What impact would you say that has had on our economy?
I was shocked at when Bola Tinubu took those decisions. First of all, he removed the subsidy on the day he was sworn in, if I'm right. Now, at the time he did this, he had no Minister of Petroleum, he had no Minister of Finance, he had no Minister of Planning. I don't know on what data he took those decisions, because normally before you take such enormous decisions that will impact the economy of the country, you ought to do an analysis and have a standby plan to mitigate any outcomes that are going to be that will adversely affect the people. But he didn't have those people in place. He removed the subsidy. Going forward, before even he inaugurated his cabinet, he deregulated the naira. Again, I want to ask, he had locked up his central bank governor before then. He had no Minister of Finance. He had no Minister of Planning. He had no Economic Council. On what basis did he take those decisions? Simply his decision of an arrogant man who thinks he knows everything. And the consequences, of course, are there, because now the economy is in a free fall. People are suffering. People are finding it very difficult to get 2 square meals, not to talk of 3. So if those are reforms, I'm surprised at how he arrived at them single-handedly. I think the function of government is collegiate. You need to get the different segments of the society to give you input before you take such monumental decisions. He didn't. My friend is must know it all.
Alleviate the impact, of those reforms. We do know that his started the cash transfer to the poorest of the poor, distribution of palliatives through state governors, and the local governments. But how far-reaching are these palliatives really? What else would you suggest can be done to cushion the impact of these decisions that he has taken?
I just came back from my village yesterday, and we are in the Hong local government of Adamawa State. I have not seen any person or heard of anybody who has benefited from all these things. As at this moment, I know that there are no less than 300 laborers working on my farm harvesting. And I do ask them who has benefited from this palliative. If there is any, nobody has benefited from it. So if they are doing any cash transfer to the poorest of poor, some of whom I know might be in my village, I have not seen anybody who benefited from it. Probably it's in their textbooks or they are given to Lagosians. I don't know. I don't know anybody in Abuja that has benefited from any of these palliatives. Maybe you do, so I don't know.
So what would you suggest that this government can do to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians who are affected by these decisions that have been taken?
Good economic policies. If we decide to share our money, the revenue we have from Nigeria, if we decide to share it, everyone with his own share, will all starve to death. So that is what government exists to do, to make sure collective income of the country is well invested in a manner that will yield bountiful results for everybody. So I'm not an economist, but I don't believe sharing money to people is the way to go. If you give me 100,000 naira today to feed my family only for 2 days, after that, what happens to me? But with good economic policies, we'll be able to earn our livelihood and based on the structures and the systems the government puts in place. So I think what we need.
So, Doc, please, before I allow you to analyze this video, I have another video I want to introduce because you've heard what he said. Many Nigerians are still saying they've not received anything. We only see people trying to share. Maybe if they come among 100 persons, they will drop like 1 bag of rice. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am also calling and making calls around to know
Let's
who has
watch
got
it.
this from my own
It's becoming outrageous for me.
Yeah.
This issue of data,
please,
in the name of Almighty God, the Honorable Minister for Communications, Dr. Olatunbosun Tijani, the chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, that is Mr. Aminu Meida, please, Honorable Minister, sir, I beg you in the name of the Almighty God, or whatever you hold sacred, sir, this issue of data, Honorable Minister, sir, Shebi, the constitution of this country says the welfare of the people would be the primary responsibility of government. Please, Honorable Minister, is our welfare really your priority as government officials? Because already in Nigeria, the cost of living is something that we cannot even talk about. Depression is now rampant. People are dealing with a lot. Nigerians, I can't talk about the cost of fuel, the cost of food. Let me not even go there. One of the only things where they give Nigerians joy, where they fit give us opportunity to interact. Now for us to have data on our phone, to come online, interact with friends, watch videos and the rest, people will be able to calm their nerves and have their mental health in check. This outrageous increase in the cost of data plans, by telecommunications companies. Today you go come, the data plan where you've been doing 500 is now 800, 1000 will now be 500, and the more the thing they increase, the more the data know they last. For Almighty God's sake, Honorable Minister for Communications, Dr. Bosun Tijani, this is not something you will say it is out of your power or you cannot do. If truly our welfare is your concern, sir, you can begin to relate with the chairperson of the NCC, the Senate Committee Chairman on Telecommunications, House Committee Chairman on Telecommunications. For you people to talk to the telecommunications industry, meet with them, whether this MTN, Glow, Artisalite, this Nine Mobile, sorry, Airtel, for them to see Honorable Minister for Information, Mr. Muhammad Idris Oga Malagi, how are we supposed to be informed when we do not have data for our phone? China TV, we want to watch. What is the cost of subscription of Go TV now? Go TV. Some of the plan don't reach 10K. Go TV Max is about 4,850 or so, almost 5,000 naira. Not to talk about Star Times or DSTV. Now this data, night all of us take, they come online for us to fit talk to ourselves. Data has become so important. Even some primary, secondary school students, their parents need to get data for them to do some assignments and homework. Yes. It is an essential commodity. It is something that, is it that in Nigeria, everything is fashioned to kill you? Sometimes Nigeria does not seem like a real place. It is like maybe we live in a simulation, or we are operating war games or hunger games, where we are just put here for people to test your strength of sufferhead. So that every year they increase the pressure of suffering. Anybody will survive that stage, you go move to the next one. That is what it seems like. Everybody is on the edge. Today, queues have been done resume for filling station concerning fuel. Federal government is saying they want to increase whether how much for civil servants and these people. If the cost of commodities do not come down, the money will not have any impact, because you go spend everything. Inflation will take it all. This issue of data, make we begin justice for data protest or justice for data cry for make una fit help us. This Mohbad way died, this musician. So the video where I do talking about justice for Mohbad and all, people came there and were commenting. A lot of comments. Not be saying I want. You go see somebody go say on top this Mohbad issue, I don't spend all the money where I get for data. It not go better for people who kill Mohbad. So you not go know whether na the death when Mohbad died, the pain and on the data way. Nigerians are just on the edge. Everything people say it is until when I begin to pick dead body for road. If people they die for house of depression before when I go understand. Federal government, if we not fear God, at least value human life now. The basic things for humanity should not be something that we should be crying and dying for. I had a wedding, a colleague, a relative of mine was wedding someone in Benin. I did Lagos. I could not afford transport to go to Benin for wedding. Not the flight at the talk of. For now, I cannot even afford that kind of luxury. Me and flight for where? Who give me? Motor transport, I no see go. So if person no fit see at least transport to go celebrate with family, make I no still get data for phone to fit call them to say how una dey for video call. How about now federal government? Make una also they look into the thing where they affect common man. This data issue is something that you can do. Help us, Dr. Latun Bosunti. Honorable Minister for Communications, Chairman NCC, Oga Aminu Mega. I beg, I don't know. Please help me tag them if you see this video, if you see their handle. I am on my knees begging you, sir. Help us for this country. Because it's becoming, I don't know. Nigerians are dealing with a lot. So, federal government officials, in case you don't know, Nigerians are dealing with a lot. Make una fear God. Make una pity human life. This data issue, I beg, help us resolve them. Help us make una look into ram. Mofiti to be oga go to beg you, Dr. Bosun Tijani, in the name of Almighty God. Ah!
Kilo de.
Oga.
Kilo de.
Yes, so that's why we keep saying this thing does not have to do with tribe or religion. We are all Nigerians. So you can see what the ordinary man is going through. This person has come out to express his own feelings. There are millions of Nigerians who do not have this opportunity, or who cannot even boldly come out to, express themselves and tell the world what they are going through. People are going through a lot. So you can imagine when they live their luxurious lifestyle is being, sponsored by Nigerians, the taxpayers' money. Now, all this telecommunication, they will tax them. And because of the tax, they will hike their prices so that the ordinary people will be the ones to pay. you can see this man expressing his frustration. People cannot afford food, even the data to even call your beloved ones. If somebody is in the hospital, you might end up not even having data to say, how are you today? In case you can't really transport yourself to the hospital. So people are going through a lot, and this government appears to be so insensitive. So insensitive. There is nothing that is being done, strategically to arrest some of these situations Nigerians have seen on ground. Nothing is being done, nothing. They just came and removed subsidy and keep telling us that it will take pain, that we should tighten our belt and all that. Doc, please come in here and share your thoughts, and let's call it a day.
What do you want me to say? With data will carry they harass them. For say we don't get data, for they here now. I want to talk this in for our Nigerian though. They are frustrating you. They raise fuel price by removing subsidy so that you can trek, and only then we own the road. The traffic that used to delay them is gone. Simple. And then you went back to this internet space. So they increased the data so that you will not be able to buy it, because that is the space you have to lambast them. If you're going to hear what we are saying this night, you have to have data. Yes. That's when you can log on YouTube. So they are choking you from every end, unfortunately. But that is it. They make it wider. Impossible. So that before you think of buying data, you should have first of all had at least your 2 square meal. It's those in their mind who have excess. When they check how much data MTN and all those things, they say, oh, Nigerians, they say they are poor. How can they be hungry and poor? Look at how much data they are buying. They have enough. That's why they are buying data. So telecom company, increase the rate and pay us tax so that we can use it to buy 160 million naira land cruisers and chalk off some people who cannot afford it, so that the number of people who are disturbing us will be smaller. That is it. Like P2B will say, is there anywhere in Nigeria where they say, okay, if you're an APC member and you voted Tinubu, come and buy data cheap? Nope. Anywhere they say, if you're from your Fulani or Hausa, come and buy data cheap? Nope. So, and unfortunately, those people who are in the cabal, they are doing well. And those gullible ones that they used to maim, to snatch ballot boxes and co, we're all crying together. I just wish we learn. All right, Nigerians, thank you so much. Have a great time. And we'll meet again, hopefully tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Yeah, thank you, our viewers. Thank you for joining us. Let's see you again tomorrow. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell for future updates. With this, I want to say a very big thank you for staying till this end session. God bless you and have a very good night's sleep. Bye.